YouTubers, Fortune Cookie 45 LC coming to you from the Hot Lead Zone. And a little over a week ago, Mike, his last name starts with the letter B, so we'll just say Mike B, said that he was going to come by and give me some of this material. And true to his word, yesterday, Mike comes by on a surprise and has this for me. And what this is beeswax. Pure beeswax, fresh out of the beehive. But look how clean that is. That's just some of the foil. I need to peel that off. But this took a lot of work because what it is, obviously, a paper plate with a foil wrapper, and this was poured in here. And when it dried and set, this is what you have. Look how clean that is. And we'll just tear this out as the tear, and then we'll weigh the actual disc of material, and what you have is 8.6 ounces of this material. It was purified twice. The first time he melted it, all the debris and the excess bee parts and all that kind of thing floated down to the bottom, and the good beeswax floated on top, and he skimmed it off. And then when he had a lot of that, he went ahead and remelted it again and did a second purification process to get it as clean as you have here. And the process also includes straining and all this kind of thing to get it this clean. So this is good beeswax. So again, thanks to Mike B for bringing me this. It's a lot for a man to be good for his word, and also his son serving with distinction in the armed forces. Now it turns out that beeswax is one of nature's original superior building materials. It's an organic material that the bees produce, and it is very tough, stays where you put it, stays where the bees put it, maintains its shape, and has the proper properties to allow lubrication of cast bullets, and goes into the greased grooves of cast bullets in a most superior fashion. Better than other things that we use, although other things may work, but not as well as beeswax. And beeswax also formulates and mixes with other substances perfectly for our bullet lubrication. The handling properties of beeswax is superior for our bullet sizer lubricators, and even if you wanted to pan lube, this will do the job nicely, although the expense now is getting to be pretty high to pan lube. But in a sizer lubricator, where the waste is very nil, this is a nice material. So YouTubers, turns out that there are lots of commercial formulations of bullet lubes that use beeswax. Here's one of the most famous. It is the NRA Formula Lyman Bullet Lube. NRA Formula, 50% alox and 50% beeswax. And the alox is what makes it the dark color. But the base material is beeswax. And if you go to the internet and you're looking for lube recipes that you can mix on your own, a lot of them contain beeswax. Now the only problem with beeswax is that it's hard to get and it's expensive. So we've done some work with substitutes for beeswax such as paraffin wax. Not as good as beeswax. It could work and does work, but beeswax is superior. So Mike was telling me that he has beehives in his backyard and his father was a beekeeper. Well, he has some beehives in his backyard, and turns out that across the road there are other beehives, but because he's on his side of the road, that it falls under the jurisdiction of the city regulations that prohibit having beehives on the property. So an inspector somehow found out that he had beehives and came to Mike telling him that he had to get rid of his beehives because his neighbors might object to the danger of having bees and a nuisance of bees that might get on their property. Well, it turns out that Mike's neighbors like Mike's beehives because Mike gives them honey. But that doesn't matter because the regulations are what they are. So Mike has to get rid of his beehives. he has to move them to some of his other properties. Ho ho, you can bet I'm going to have some fun melting that beeswax and concocting something with it. Is going to be great to work with that. But I'm also going to keep one cake of it for future reference. YouTubers out there, take care. See you in the next video.